Hola, mi amigos y amigas, me llamo Jerko, y este es el gran espectáculo. How is everybody doing? Getting ready for the new year? Making a list of resolutions to abandon in a few weeks, like getting rid of that spare tire you've been trying to lose since you were 27? Not that I'm speaking from experience. It has been raining incessantly out here, and we all know how things are right now in the world. So we will see what New Year's has in store, but obviously let's everybody stay safe and have fun responsibly in the real world. But in the boat world, let's get wild. And to get started, let's bring today's guest out here. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the U.S. Navy Tier 5 battleship. Give it up for New Mexico. That's right, the New Mexico, and this was a special request from friend of the show, Juice to Goose, who is getting close to his 1,000 subscriber mark. If you haven't seen his channel and are curious to see what he's putting out there, a link is in the description below. And I don't think we've had this ship on here since my last collaboration with Juice, way back when that involved me spitting hot rhymes. Back when that was a thing. And if you don't get why this was his request, amongst other reasons, maybe you'll figure it out if you stare at the thumbnail long enough. So, to get this party started, we're going to need a whole crew, and popping out of the cake to put on a dance is, I believe that's old Billiam Sims getting freaky with Beepley and Stunningham. And if you notice, I am not using Will to rebuild. I've got to practice what I preach. I am, in fact, using Fight Fire with Fire, and you are going to see a point near the end of this video where that skill saves my bacon. But first, we've got a broadside gang it. I've popped my plane, and let's enjoy this 10% increase in dispersion that will surely result in a dev strike. What the heck? Well, that was not satisfying. Not in the slightest, but whatever. Surely I cannot miss a Kirov from here. You know, and that's kind of the thing. Sometimes even that 10% increase will not overcome a terrible roll, but from this distance, I would need the worst roll of all time, which I'm not going to receive, and we will pick up our first ship sunk, and then try and focus back on these guys. Now, yeah, the dispersion on the New Mexico can be somewhat trolly sometimes, but sometimes in that scattershot trolliness, it allows you to do blind fires like this. And then sometimes it's missing a broadside ganget with your spotter plane up at 13 kilometers. Anyway, moving back to this game, we're on Neighbors, which it feels like it's been quite some time since we've seen this map on the big show. But to start, because I am in a slow old American battleship, I wanted to push towards B from the get-go. Not abandoning C, mind you, but just head towards B slowly. But as our friendly Graf Spee was on this side of the island, I'd rather set up a crossfire, so I took the long way around. And that's something to keep in mind with all of these slow American battleships, all the way up to the Kansas. They do really well when they're in the center of the map, but pulling off a flank, well, that's quite difficult because they aren't speed demons. Obviously, you can with the Georgia and Iowa and those, but the Dreadnoughts, not so much. Always kind of want to be heading towards the center of the map. And the reason that is because, like I was saying in my last video, when you're shooting at something, you need to be thinking about the next target you're going to shoot at. And we can see I don't really have anything else to shoot at right now because I went around that island. And it's such a long slog to get up here. Well, that is, what, probably 3 or 4 potential salvos that I could have fired in that amount of time. But instead, I've had to wait till this Graf Spee, which we should blap right through the nose right here. Nope. Anyway, yeah, we had to waste all that time going around the island before making our way back here. And if we look at the minimap right now, we can see that the majority of the red team is flowing west, and that means I'm going to be chasing for quite a while. And let's be real, it's not like there is a Hemi under the hood of this New Mexico. If anything, it's probably maybe a 4-cylinder, maybe it's a 2-cylinder. Do we have to mix the oil directly in with the petrol? So it's time to dig through the old 8-track collection, find Slow Ride, and just try and look cool and pick up chicks. All right. So, something you're going to see here. Yes, I'm going to secure this Graf Spee once they get spotted. Where are they? I am pre-turning because I'm assuming that they've probably sent out torps here. There they are, but it looks like they're just trying to get to somewhere safe, but they're not going to be able to make it. Anyway, I am now going to do a big ol' U-turn. I'm going to do a big U-turn to try and convince those 2 red battleships up to the north to come straight down to B rather than come over to C, which is honestly what they should do. And the reason I want them to do that is because if they come over here to C, at least one of them, then I am going to be stuck in a crossfire. Whereas if they both come down directly south, I will be able to approach them angled in. The majority of my team is to the south, way south, but even still, I don't want to be where they are. And so I'm going to use all of these islands here to be able to limit the angle of attack from the reds and turn this into something a bit more favorable to me. So I am risking my broadside here, yeah. And I'm not sure if that's a Citadel. It may have been one. It was a very decent hit. I am risking my broadside there, but for me, that is necessary to get to the point where I actually want to be, which is bow into these 2 ships. Fortunately, it does look like they are coming directly south. I don't know why they had been sitting up there so long, but whatever. This is tier 5, you know, this stuff happens. So, once I get around this island, I can head back north and switch my guns over to the other side and actually do what we really want to do. And things are not looking so good for my team right now, right? For whatever reason, the red team has not capped B. The majority of my team is very far south of A. And, yeah, it's going to be coming up to me. Oh, my lord, look at that Devonshire. Come on, let's get that one, and then we will have our next ship sunk. You can see right there, I was taking shots into the bow. That's why I came around this rock this way. Wanted to be able to bounce those shots. So I don't get the Citadel shot on the Devonshire that I was looking for, but that's alright. We do have a pretty decent angle on them still. It says my shots will clear. I'm looking and I'm slowing down. It still says my shots are going clear, so let's go ahead and take this shot right into the mountain. Well, okay, well, let's just swing the old rear turrets around and we will try it with these, but if those didn't cross over, surely there's no way that these will. Okay, yeah, it does say that they're blocked, so let's not even waste our shot here. And look at what we have here. We have the carrier pushed all the way up onto this cap, and the 2 battleships from before, and they are all clumped up into one spot. And this is exactly what I need. You see how that Nevada is pointed directly away from me? Nothing to worry about there, because I will bow into them. And this Fuso, okay, which side do they have their guns on? Are they going to be shooting at my teammates to the south, or will they turn their guns towards me? And this is why we set up crossfires, because you can't angle to everybody, and you can't have guns shooting off of both sides of your ship. But first, okay, we're going to take some torps here, and I'm going to use my damage control. Remember this. So my damage control is going to be on cooldown very soon. Oh, hello there. Ah, this is going to be delicious. Squeal like a pig, and that is your Taco Bell play of the game. Let's take it all in one more time. Oh yes, it is glorious to see the sea pig sink. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with the fight fire with fire skill, because let's be honest, almost everyone runs will to rebuild because it's stupid and broken, but fight fire with fire will reduce the burning damage to your ship all of the time by up to 20%. And if your damage control is on cooldown, then should you be set on fire 3 times, it will automatically remove all damage over time effects. So 3 fires will automatically be put out, and so would a flood if you had one. But it takes 3 fires to trigger and your damage control to be on cooldown, which we are about to see right now. And poof, they all go out automatically. Personally, I think this skill needs buffed, reduce the burning damage by up to say 33%, and get rid of will to rebuild. They introduced both of these to help battleships deal with HE spam, and the difference is one is too easily abused and the other just needs a slight buff to be more useful, I think. And through all of that, we got our 4 ships sunk, so let's pick up the Kraken here with this weak little Devonshire. And we are going to get Kraken 3, and we are going to get and we are... Well, we are not getting it yet because the Devonshire lives to see another day. And check this out. They're going behind the island. I'm going to try and sneak a shot into them. Oh, just reload a little bit faster. We know they're going to turn right. So maybe we can just aim. But no, we are not going to get it. They are, in fact, going to end up being sunk by our carrier. And somehow we turned this whole game around. We were down how many ships? I don't know, a lot. And now it is just down to this Nevada and myself. And there is no way that I'm going to let this Kraken go. So come at me, bro. Come at me. Don't run. And to this player's credit, they don't run. They do come at me, bro. Though I don't think they're expecting me to just necessarily go for the ram, but I mean, if they're going to keep giving me broadside, then I am going to take the broadside shots, but I'm going to stay bowing to them. I have the full intentions of ramming this player because, you know what, that's a good trade that guarantees the win. Plus, it's just a very lulzy way to finish a game with the New Mexico, especially when there's only 1 ship left on the other team. And I want to also make sure that my carrier doesn't get it. So they're coming at me. I'm going to try and take out their turrets here. They actually take out one of mine. Now they're going for the turn. But both of us, while fairly slow, are still pretty maneuverable. We've got this pre-planned, and I am just going to barely be able to bonk this Nevada on their booty. And we will, in fact, be picking up Kraken 356. In the New Mexico, and that's for the Juice Man. Alrighty, let us see the scoreboard. 2,530 XP for a good game, along with a high caliber and dev strike for good measure, and that was honestly a GG to both teams. I was pretty sure we were going to lose that one right until I dev struck the Fuso, so nice work Reds and Blues. And that is going to wrap it up for this one. If you want to see more high concept Krakens like this, hit like. If you do not like the B in subtle and prefer no thinking required, hit dislike. Questions, comments, what you'd like to see for 381, leave it down below. And if you want to be sure to have a voice for 406, then hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, folks. I will get back out there for another one soon. We will talk then.